Hey, Tara here with you, and today I actually had to come to you live outside of the front of my daughter's school building, and I really want to apologize for the background, but I just wanted to really take a few minutes and touch base with you. I had to kind of move my schedule around today because the normal time that we meet, my daughter had some shift in her schedule, and so I had to accommodate accordingly, which meant that I needed to go live at a little bit of a different time today. So I just want to say thank you. If you continue to watch, thank you so much. If you're just joining for the first time, I just want to say welcome. We cover a different topic every day, and today I just wanted to touch base with you live for just a few minutes. And I wanted to really talk about the yeses and nos to clients in business. I don't know about some of you, but I'm going through a little bit of an interesting season. As a mother of three, I've got three small children. They're 8, 3, and 1. And I'm really wanting to be effective and purposeful with my time for 2020. Amen. Who's there with me, And it's really important as we grow and we expand in business, whether we have a product or whether we have a service, to really take the time to guard our time, to guard ourselves with that time. And it's not because we don't want to service people, but it's because we want to service the right people. We want the right people partnering in business with us, whatever that looks like, right? Because you have value. It's not that you're busy. So stop telling people that you're busy, because it's not that you're busy. That sounds like you don't have time, right? But it's that you're strict with your time and where you put it, because you want to be the most effective possible in the time that you do have, right? And you don't want to do things that you're not called to, because see, my first point is that sometimes, taking on a client, it sounds really good and it looks good. Everything about it looks really great. Okay. But when it comes time to doing it, it's either tedious or it's things that, you know how to do, but it's not necessarily where your heart and your passion really is, right? And so it's the same thing about taking on clients. A client could look really good and be appealing because of certain things that they bring to the table. Okay, but then you have to ask yourself, is it going to be the best use of your time? Is it going to be time that's effectively spent? Okay, is it going to be something that you have the skill sets for, that you're getting paid for the value that it brings to? And that's my second point, because you could have a lot of skills in an area and be invaluable, meaning you have great tangible value. Okay, on the other hand, you're not getting paid for the value that you bring to the table. Okay. And yes, it's one thing, to have a ministry. It's one thing to minister to people. It's one thing, to want to provide them a good offer. Okay. But you should really be having people pay you for the time. Okay. According to the skill and the value that you bring to the table. Okay, so, you should be getting paid for that particular service or that, particular set of products. I know for some, their company determines the value of the product, and what it costs. But on the other hand, if you're somebody that's doing services or you're providing services, you really need to get paid for that. Why? Because it's on demand. Right? You have other commitments, you have obligations in life. And the last thing that you want, like you hear parents talk about parent burnout or mom burnout, right? You can become business burnout. And who wants to be business burnout? And who wants to follow somebody that's burnout, right? And so especially as you're growing and expanding, you want to remain attractive in the marketplace and the value that you bring in the marketplace, right? You want to be somebody that, you're providing value so much and you're learning new skills. It's one thing if you're being stretched in an area that sometimes it's uncomfortable, not because it's no, but maybe the Lord is leading you to say yes to something because it's going to stretch who you're becoming. You may need to learn some new skills and tools that you're being equipped with as you're being stretched to the next level. Okay, some of you have been praying. I really actually feel this in the Holy Spirit. Some of you have actually been praying about opportunities to expand and to go to that next level. But on the other hand, there may be just a few skills that you need to still acquire and learn and to grow with. Okay, and that's going to require you to maybe take a stepping stone in between level A to level B. So it's kind of like, here's where you're at, but here's where you're meant to go, right? And so you're being stretched to go to that next level. So what does that look like? And what does that mean? It may mean that you're learning on the go. You're learning as you go. And in order to do that, you want to make sure that the time that you spend in that area is well spent, which brings me to my third point. Is it being well spent? Are you really learning and growing from it? And at the same time, are you bringing your client the value that you agreed to bring when you came to the table, which is my fourth point? You really want to make sure that what you're bringing to the table, that you're fulfilling what you said you were going to do, that you're going to follow through with that. Okay. And, it's not no because you don't feel that you have the skills. No, you can learn new skills as you go, and you could learn the job well and really service the client well. Okay. It could be the Lord saying, hey, I've taught you a few things here, but now I'm going to put you through the refiner's fire, and I'm going to put you through a test, and I'm going to see how it is that you do with that test, and let that be a determination, of going to that next level. And sometimes we need to be refined a little bit. We need new skills and we need new experiences. So we take on clients that maybe stretch the services that we offer, or may stretch us as a person to bring out the best in us, to be the best version of us. So sometimes it does mean saying yes, even if we're uncomfortable, like, gosh, I don't know if I know all the skill sets to, really be providing those services. Well, if the Lord really brought you to it and you prayed it through and you are feeling a go, it's like kind of that feeling, how do I describe it, where you're like nervous, scared, and excited all at once, then you definitely know that that's the Lord. And when things start lining up, you'll know He'll show you, because things will actually naturally line up for you. So when things really start lining up, that's a great indicator that you're supposed to take on that client and that you're supposed to provide those services, no matter what that entails or what that looks like and what the scope of your capabilities is. So, don't just shut the door on opportunity, just because it's something that's stretching you a little bit and is a little bit outside of your comfort zone. Sometimes it does mean saying yes to something like that. Another time where it may be a yes or a no situation is, do you really feel your heart in it? Okay. Do you really feel yourself connecting tangibly with that client in a way that you feel that you are all in as a person? Because you can bring value all day long, okay? But if your heart is not committed to it, you may want to say no and allow yourself to be open to what that next possibility is and what that can potentially look like. So you have to really stand your ground. This is going to be my last point before I wrap up. Make sure that you stand your ground, especially in the prices and things that you bring to the table. If the marketplace in your area is providing XYZ dollars, don't undersell your services or yourself, but don't oversell. Give somebody a competitive rate. Okay, and make sure that you really stand your ground in terms of not backing down on your prices, especially if you know what you bring to the table has value. Okay, you want to really make sure that if you've got a certain set of skills and it's, maybe it's rare or limited in your particular area and where you're looking to service, hey, it's game on. They're paying for your time, especially because certain projects are going to require a certain amount of hours. You've only got so many hours in the day to give, right? And so you want to make sure that you're not going into burnout, and to protect yourself and to set boundaries for you and for them, and to make sure that you're your best so that when you are working, you're giving it your all. Okay, make sure you're paying accordingly for that. Charge that into your services. And if somebody questions you about, why is it that you're a little bit more money? Well, hey, the marketplace plays for value, and I'm a hot commodity. I'm competitive. I have a number of contracts that are out there that are waiting. And even if you're not quite at that level yet, let's say you're kind of in between, still Okay, speak that into existence. Make decrees and declarations with the services you're providing. You're up and coming. Okay, you got to start practicing those skills that you want to become. I hear that for somebody. You need to practice the skills in which you are going and becoming. Okay, so even if you're not quite there yet, you are going to be there, and you are going to be at a place that requires a level of maturity, and you're starting to walk in that season. Okay, so don't undersell yourself at all. Do not underestimate yourself or your skills or your abilities, and whatever it is that you need additionally. Trust the Lord to walk that path out with you, but stand your ground. If somebody says, come down in your prices, but you know you need to bring that value to people, bring that value to people. You don't have to explain yourself, but express to them, you know, hey, I've got these competitive contracts, and I also have a family that I need to spend time with. I want to be there for them. And, you know, I'm, as much as I'm called to be an entrepreneur, as much as I'm called to provide a service, I'm also called to be a parent. And I'm also called to be a mom or a dad or whatever that is. And I want to be there for my children. So I have to know that if the time is going to be spent and it's taking away from these other things that mean so much to me, that I'm going to be all in. I'm going to be passionate about what it is that I'm going to do. I'm going to give you my absolute best in the services that I'm providing you, so that I'm giving you the best of myself for the price that I'm charging. Okay? And if you feel that you really cannot provide that, be honest with your client. The Lord will give you other opportunities. Believe me. I've already said no several times this year because I didn't feel like it best serviced my time for the time that it was going to take to provide, first of all, or for the pay. You know, it was kind of like, well, do this for me, and, you know, and in turn, you may get some clients from it. Well, that's not how this works. This is my time. I should be paid for my time accordingly, right? And that's what you have to kind of lead with. And you have to know that, you know, you're not a doormat. You're not meant to be walked on. Okay, people need to pay for the skills and the value that you bring to the table. It's really important, you guys, that you know that. You know, people should not be taking your skills and level of tools that you have on your tool belt and saying that they want that service for free. Okay, there's a lot of people that, you know, they want your skills, they want to learn from you, they want your help, but they don't want to pay for it. Okay, don't allow people to do that to you. Do not be a walking point for clients. Okay, if somebody's wanting your services and they always want them for free, no, they need to pay you some sort of value, and it has to match. You know, maybe you can come to some level of agreement there. Okay, you may have to go back and forth a little bit, but come to an agreement. That's different. You know, maybe you want to, in that case, maybe you charge more of a flat rate or a monthly rate for your services, and that's totally acceptable and doable. Okay, maybe you don't provide them the whole thing. That's why you need to, if you are, you know, looking at a contract and providing services, make sure that you have a couple of different options for them. You know, and maybe on the end you can tack on a bonus. You know, okay, here's what I can do for you. So here's option A, here's option B. If I do a flat rate or a monthly rate, this is what it would look like depending on the services that you want. This is just kind of a sample of services that I provide. And then as a bonus, I'll add XYZ in for you. Okay? And you might go back and forth with that a little bit, but hopefully you'll come to an agreement. And if the door closes, you know, maybe what your prayer can be ahead of time is, you know, hey, Lord, open the doors that no man can close, and close the doors that no man can open. And if it is meant for us, you know, myself and this client to work together, then line up the opportunity and the door and the pathway for me to be able to do that. If that's not the case, Lord, open more doors and opportunities. Help me to see and learn what it is that you wanted me to learn from this experience and move on. Okay, don't dwell on it. Don't let it become an idol in your life, meaning that you dwell and dwell and dwell on it. Don't get attached to yes and no. That's what that means. Don't get attached to yes and no. And if it's meant to be a no, just know that the Lord will open up other opportunities as it's meant to happen. Trust the process more than whether or not you book an actual client. For some of you, this will become a process. As it is for myself, it's been very much so a process. But through it all, you become better. As you go through the fire, right? Better things come out of you. You have to remove the dross and the negative things in your life to bring out the very best, and look at it as an experience, an opportunity to start learning and growing and investing into yourself at a higher level. So know when to say yes and know when to say no. Discern the difference between the two, because you don't want to be in a position where people aren't paying you your value for your services and you feel stuck and it's tedious work, your heart wasn't in it, or things go south, right? And so you really want to make sure that you're aligning and partnering. Ask the client about their services, ask them questions about themselves, learn as much as you possibly can about that potential client that you're looking at doing business with, and make sure too that your values are matching up and lining up. Are they looking for services where they're going to expand and grow? Do they match what you represent and wish to partner with? Because they could pay you a lot of money, but what they represent isn't what you're about. So just make sure that it's a really good fit. Pray it through. And if it's meant to be, the door will open to you. I hope that this brought some sort of value. Feel free to share the video. If it touched you in some way, or you know someone that could benefit from it, please get the word out and share this video. And I'm also going to leave my information in the comment section below. So if you wish to get into contact with me or touch base with me on Facebook, please feel free to partner with me and do so. The more we can get the word out, the better. I don't benefit anything off of this other than I just love Connect, and potentially, I do some relational and business and social media marketing and coaching. So feel free to reach out to me if you're looking for an opportunity, if I could get the words out, to do some sort of services or whatnot. You could certainly reach me and contact me either through private message on Facebook, or if we're not friends, you could still reach out to me directly, because I check my others folder anyway. But I will leave my information in the comment section. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. If you leave your name, I'll leave the link. If you click on it, leave your name and your email, and then that way I can reach out to you directly, because it'll alert me in my emails to get in touch with you. And then that way we can connect and we can discuss, partner, pray, whatever it is that I could do for you in order to honor and to serve you, to partner with you in any way. Just please let me know how it is that I can be there for you. I really want to continue to bring you value each and every day. I'm going to try my best to go live tomorrow. We're going to see how this works out. It looks like right around the 2 o'clock window, 1:50, 2 o'clock is a good time to do these. I got to get my daughter, so I do have to get up, but just stay tuned for that time tomorrow. It's been a real pleasure connecting with you. I hope that you benefited from this, and until next time, I look forward to talking with you. Take care. Have a great rest of your day.